Yo, what is up, boys? Party Waffles here, and today I'm going to make you guys an updated arena/PvP tier list for the War Within Season 2. Some new class changes just came out today, and the tier sets have also been acquired now, mostly for most people for the 4 sets, so some things are going to change, but let's get right into this. So, Fury Warrior, I'm going to put that at A tier. I had it pretty high in S tier before. I still think it's very strong, but I definitely think there's actually stronger melees now, so I'm going to actually move that down slightly. Arms Warrior, we're going to put that up to A tier because they just received a sizable buff to execute, demolish, a couple other things. I think that's going to bring them up. Who knows? Maybe they even go S tier. But I got some more defenses into them as a DK, so I'm a little less worried about them myself. All right, so next we have Sub Rogue. I'm going to put that in A tier. I actually just watched a Sub Rogue out damage my Warrior in a long game yesterday, so I definitely think Sub Rogue has some untapped potential that a lot of people aren't really playing. Marksman Hunter, I still think they're S tier. Really good. Nothing's changed. Tanks, we're just going to throw them down in the F tier because, again, tanks in arena, you know. Outlaw Rogue, I'm going to put that to A tier. Good control, decent damage. More so about control than the damage, though, but I definitely think they're still strong, and you're probably going to see them in the tournament coming up. Assassination Rogue, I think they're really, really good. Crazy rot, crazy CC, crazy mobility, everything, right? Same as before. Afflock is also really good, which they pair really nice with. Survival Hunter. Don't think Survival Hunter is very good at all. Since they nerfed their one-shot, they seem pretty mid. We're going to put them down in the B tier. Next thing we have here is BM Hunter. We're going to put them in S tier. They've remained strong, remained solid. Pretty certain they got buffed today as well. Tank Demon Hunter there. Normal Demon Hunter, we're going to put normal Demon Hunter into A tier. Okay, Havoc Demon Hunter, the DPS Demon Hunter, obviously. We're going to put that into A tier. The reason being that I don't think it's S is because there's so many rogues, like Rogue Mage, and there's also a ton of BM Hunters, which, from my experience, both destroy Demon Hunters. We're going to put that there. Feral Druid, we're going to put Feral Druid S tier. They even took a tiny nerf today, but I don't even think it's going to be enough, right? Like, Jungle Cleave is godly. Feral Mage is godly. Feral Shadow Priest is godly. Just a lot of insane. Hard to say. Frosty K, I'm going to throw up into the A tier. I think it definitely has it's good in solo shuffle, even though it's a little bit annoying to play sometimes. And it's also decent in some 3s comps, but let's get it. We got some defensive changes, actually. I mean, Bloodforge got buffed today for Frost, but that's about the only thing, so it's going to stay the same. Unholy DK. Okay, so this is strange, kind of, but I'm going to put Unholy DK in A-, and let me explain to you why, okay? So, one of the reasons that I felt like Unholy was so bad in solo shuffle was because of Warriors, and we're actually getting a big defensive buff today, okay? Our Bloodforge, which every time we Death Strike, it gives us a 25% wall now instead of a 20%, and it's 4 seconds long instead of 3 seconds. So basically, I can keep that talent up pretty much permanently, and it's going to be stronger, and I get an extra global to press coil, because before it would be like, you know, coil, scourge, death strike. You know, I try to death strike like every 3rd global when I was using it, but now it's like every 4th global, so it's just extra damage. And I also feel like Unholy DK in 3v3 is a lot stronger than it is in solo shuffle, is what it feels like to me. So I'm actually going to put this at the bottom of A tier. After getting our tier sets, after the Soul Reaper buff and the defensive buff, I'm going to go on the fact that this is A- in an arena setting. Solo shuffle, it could potentially still be B, but yeah, that's what I'm going to go with that. Boomkin, listen, they just got a ton of buffs today, okay? I feel like Boomkin is going to come out of the far right, man. They're just going to come from the nowhere and just... Because I don't know, I've already been seeing them crank, and they're going to get massive buffs today, so we'll see about this one. That's where I'm going to bank on that one, though. Okay, let's do some healers. So Druid here, I think Druid is going to be low A tier, okay? After playing into them with their 4 set, with the buffs that they're receiving, Druid is a solid choice. I think there's better things, but it's not bad. One thing you're going to notice here is that actually there's not a lot of really bad outliers. Like, everything is going to be kind of near the top after these changes from what I've noticed. I still think Disc Priest is going to be S tier. I think Holy Priest is going to be A tier with all the buffs they're receiving. I think Resto Shaman is going to be S tier. I've already been enjoying Resto Shaman so much right now for a lot of comps. Like melee cleaves, I've been loving the Resto Shaman. And with the outlier getting nerfed, with Disc Priest getting nerfed, it makes Shaman even better, right? And then some other changes that are happening also make my comp nicer, which is TSG, Warrior, DK, Healer. So let's go next. Blood DK can go there because it's a tank. Devastation Evoker. I think Devastation Evoker is really strong. I don't quite think it's S, but I think they are very oppressive, and nothing really has changed much about them. Evoker. This one... So Og was C tier before, okay? Og was holding it down for the C tier. They got a 15% nerf. Or, sorry, my bad. They got a 15% buff. I don't know if that's going to be enough to bring them up from C tier. It might be enough to bring them up from C to B. It's hard to say. I'm going to go ahead and leave them in C tier for now. Another thing that's going to join them in the C tier is going to be Fire Mage. I haven't seen a Fire Mage perform well unless it was like literally like an AWC player or something. So we're going to keep these for now. Again, this Og could move up, though. Could definitely move up based on the buffs, but I don't know. It's a little sketchy, honestly. Presvoker. So I think that Presvoker is going to be really good. They got a lot of big buffs. I think they're a really strong class. Shroud, Oppressive Roar, Spammable Sleep, Stun, you know what I mean? Rescue, they got it all. I think they're going to be pretty strong. Mistweaver, I also think they're going to be strong. They received a bunch of buffs across the board as well. Mistweaver is going to be moved up to A tier. Now let's see what else we got here. Mage is going to stay the same, I think. It's going to be S tier. Arcane Mage is going to drop a tier, I think. Because, so the defensives are still going to be really strong on mages. But Arcane is losing a lot of mobility, which is one of their strong suits, right? Being untouchable. So now I think Arcane is going to actually drop a tier. I still think Demo is going to be A tier. Because it just received a 3% buff across the board. So I don't think Demo is going to be bad. Solid choice. It's kind of tanky, decent damage. Ret Paladin just received a lot of buffs, okay? I already have Ret Paladins whispering me their damage meters and everything like that, telling me the class is good. So I do think that Ret Pally is going to be at minimum A tier right now. Prot Pally, we're going to put that in the tank tier. Holy Pally. Holy Pally received some good buffs too, honestly. Like I said, there's really not too many low classes. Holy Pally, I think, is probably going to be A tier as well now because they just received buffs. It seems like they tried to basically take all the underperforming healers and bring them, raise them up to Disc Priest more so than lower the other ones. But we're going to go with A tier for that. Could be B tier for the Holy Pally, but I feel like it's going to be an A tier angle. Windwalker Monk, they took a little bit of a nerf. Is it enough to take them down? Is it enough to take them down from A tier or from S tier to A tier? Possibly. I don't know. It was their wind attack slicing wind got nerfed and then something else. But I still think they're going to be a strong contender. If they're not S tier, I think they're going to be like A plus tier. Okay. I think they're at least A plus tier. But I don't think they're quite as good as Feral Druid or necessarily Rogue. But let's go next. Enhanced Shaman. So they lost some they lost some of their burst, but they gained some sustained damage. I'm honestly going to put Enhanced Shaman in B tier because of that, though. Because the burst was kind of the insane thing they had going for them. They already did a lot of sustained damage, but yeah. So let's see here. Destro Warlock. Destro Warlock A tier. Aflock S tier. Their tier the 4 set for Aflock got nerfed a little bit, but I still think they're insanely good. Destrolock I also think is insanely good. Like, I think this is like a strong A plus tier. I don't think it's S tier, but I do think it is A plus tier. What else do we have here? Ellie Shaman. They got massively buffed. Massively buffed. Primwave got a huge 500% buff. They got other buffs. I think Ellie Shaman is going to be S tier now. I think you're going to see a lot of Ellie Warrior. Thundercleave, they call it. Maybe even Ellie Feral. But what else do we have here? This is a tank. Shadow Priest. Okay, so Shadow Priest, I think we're insanely strong. I still think they're going to be insanely strong, but I don't think they're S tier. I think they're A tier. So Shadow Priest into the A tier. All right, guys, so here we have it. This is basically it. My tier list for the new changes. And from my experience of queuing the last couple weeks of the season since it came out, here you have it, guys. So the best classes are going to be at the top, the worst classes at the bottom, and obviously in between. But just because a class isn't S tier, I don't want you to completely like disregard it, right? Or throw it away. Like, I've been playing Unholy DK, which I put B tier on the last tier list and the one before that. So you can make the classes work that are not just like S tier. You can play other classes. So don't feel like you have to just play the S tier classes if you like another class more. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today. I will catch you guys in the next one. If you want to see me live, you can catch me at twitch.tv/partywafflesx. I stream there full time, 5 days a week. Other than that, I will see you guys next time. Take it easy. Peace. Hit the like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time. Peace, 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 peace.